Hello, you incredible poopsies out there. Welcome back to another ASMR video. Before this video officially begins, if you could just take a quick second to subscribe if you're new here, or if you haven't yet, or maybe you've been unsubscribed accidentally. That happens often. Make sure that that bell is turned on as well, and you subscribe, okay? Because that way you can see these videos, because I post frequently, and I want to make sure that you guys are able to see my stuff, and that you get notified, so you don't miss out, because I post frequently. Alright, poopsies, and make sure you also check my website, okay? That's important because it helps keep the lights on, helps me continue making content for you. I have to buy a lot of stuff. Sometimes it gets very expensive to buy props and things for videos, so it all helps contribute to this channel, and a lot of it does go back into the channel and for you guys to improve my content, so there you go. Alright, so let's begin. Today's video is quite different. I even sometimes don't even know how it's going to come across or how a video is going to perform, but basically I want to talk about the sun and the moon and how it contrasts between light and darkness, yin yang, right? So the polar opposites is what I'm trying to say. I'm not talking about yin and yang specifically. I'm not talking about light or darkness specifically. I just want to talk about the opposing forces of the sun and the moon and how it kind of correlates to our life in a way. So, and I'm going to show you a few tarot cards that kind of portray what it really is, and that's about it. So it's mostly going to be talking and kind of demonstrating kind of a firm grasp on what it is. So I know, kind of a weird video, but a lot of you guys seem to like when I just sit and talk about anything, so that's kind of a video right there for you. So basically, we can go ahead and talk about the sun first, and the sun is basically this light, okay? And it shines during the day for about 12 hours. And we have to experience the light in order to know what the darkness is. So, with everything, it complements each other. So the light has to be the opposite of the darkness. And we have to experience the polarity. Light is full of energy. You work during the day. You're active during the day. We're programmed to arise at sunrise and rest at sunset. Our bodies cannot function without the sun. We need the vitamin D. We need the sunlight. And so, even the ancient Egyptians have studied this, and there are theories and books on this subject of how important it is. Even sun gazing, which is just staring at the sun, which obviously you don't want to do for too long, but a few seconds a day. I like to do that. Just directly look up as much as I can take and then look away. The sun holds knowledge, it holds information, it's insight, it's energy. It also makes you have a nice tan and sweat. So but basically, I want to know what it is that you see from the sun. I'll just give you a few. What is the message here? This is one of the tarot cards of the sun. What is it trying to say? What is it trying to tell you, perhaps? For me personally, I think the little boy and the horse is like a rebirth. The horse is white, so it's pure renewal of energy. He looks exuberant, like really happy and thrilled. And the sun is just confidently beaming down on him and on the planet with its many rays. And you see even sunflowers, if you caught that in the background. So there's a lot to it. I think that ankle bracelet is a sign of purity, and he's holding up a staff that's way larger than him, so it's like he has the confidence to move ahead even when he's not outgrown the curtain, the staff, the pole here, right? Like, it's way larger than him. But he has the confidence thanks to the sun. So it's like the strength and the vitality and the courage as well. And it's a very cheerful card. It's number 19 in the deck. So 1 plus 9 is 1, because the 1 plus 9 is 10, and 10 is 1 in numerology. So it's like a rebirth, a restart, a renewal. Even the horse is adorned, or the pony, whatever way you look at it. I see it as a horse because it's sort of like he's already matured into his position because of the confidence he holds, and the sun providing that life around him. So to me, I think that's what it portrays. Again, there's no point to this video, but I just wanted to do something like weird and different, I guess. So here's another card I want to show you. So what is it that you see? And I didn't think it would be fair to show just one card because it doesn't give it justice. I'll give you a moment to determine what this means to you. And maybe there's a reason you need to see this video today. Maybe there's a message for you, so stay tuned, perhaps. I think she is holding the sun as like a form of a prayer, like she's asking the sun for help and guidance. She's not just letting it shine on her, but she's holding it. She knows she is the sun. She's a part of the sun. She knows her connection to the sun. And you see these flowers again, sort of like sunflowers. If you caught that, a lot of time the attention is in the details. And they're facing her in the sun. And I think that's like, in an odd way, like, it's almost like she's aiming the sun to project to the sunflower. So she's taking control of her life. And she's positioning the sun to shine at her garden to make her life's work happen. I also see a tinge of green in the back. Green is a very healing color. As I've mentioned in, I believe the last couple videos back, I did a cleansing using the elements. And notice though she's bare, she's exposed. Okay, just like the other card, she's barely clothed. So that kind of represents like how important that sun energy is to her healing as well. So it's almost like she's taking control of her life and healing herself. And there's hints of purple in the back as well, some mystery, because you don't really know what she's doing or what this card's about. I guess it's the interpretation based upon what you deem this card to be for you. So that's just another example. It's funny because the back of this card is green and purple, so it's like, that's like the portrayal of the mystery and the healing mystery, right? Like, obviously the back is the same in all these cards, but I'm just saying, like, there's a reason they use purple and green. That's all I'm saying. And I like tarot because they often portray what is not really taught in school and stuff like that. So there's a guy that you guys really have to check out on Instagram, and he's so good and so soulful. Check out his IGTV posts, okay? Specifically his IGTV posts. And check out the ones where he's showing his face. So sometimes you may need to scroll a bit. Hours and hours and hours. I think I've watched like 10 hours of his content in a matter of a couple of days because it was so interesting. His name is the_woken_undead. The_woken_undead. Free shout out, but I love his material so much. He talks about things like the sun and the water we drink and everything, like everything. It's so important to hear. Super spiritual guy, but also like keeps it real, and 99.95% of the stuff he says I pretty much agree with. He talks about Antarctica and all that stuff, so it's very cool. But anyways, so it's like hidden knowledge and stuff like that. Oh, Tartaria going to say, actually, this is the number 19 also on this card. So, but this card, the sun, is the number 19 as well. Okay, are they all 19? Yes, they're all 19. Okay, I want to make sure that, like, that'd be odd if it wasn't, but what does this portray? Le Soleil. Le Soleil. It's a French card. That's the sun. Now there's two people, not one. This sort of reminds me of like the Gemini twins. Also young men here, but it's interesting they always portray these cards as like not really adorned humans, right? Like they're don't have a shirt on their back ever for some reason. This sun shines in the middle so confidently and spreads its love. I think it's spreading its love unto others because the connection of love, even though they're friends or whatever, they're very connected with each other is what I'm trying to say. And there's a brick wall behind them though. There's always something hidden or concealed. That's kind of the mystery. So there's always like beyond the wall. What is there? You don't know, right? It could be what is there between these two. Are they friends? Are they a couple? Like you just don't know, right? So the sun will only shine through what you know. Like basically the sun shines through even behind the wall, but you don't know that because there's a wall. You think that like sometimes this kind of portrays like also that like life doesn't just revolve around us, right? The sun is shining all over the place at the same time, billions of times a day. So it's like, again, the purity because they're standing on white ground, but the connection between even how others perceive the sun as, they're very different. See, like one is kind of smiling, one is kind of not. One has a hand on one chest, one has a hand on one neck, other hand out, other hand in. So it's like all our differences are beautiful and the sun shines on us anyway. That's kind of what it portrays to me somehow. And their blonde hair is kind of like just that. Young, youthful innocence, right? Like, it could also portray like that they've gotten so much sun that their hair turned yellow, right? Like that they have their divine connection to the sun. And there's a reason they're in the sun card because they have that connection. And sometimes others beyond the wall maybe don't. And also portrays to me that people don't always have to necessarily be separated by a wall. We can come together and be at peace, right? Just saying. So here's the sun. In this black and white format. The whole card deck is like this, but just ignore the color. Just, what do you see? I see something that looks like a Moscow or something in the corner. There's like a church. There's a city with a bridge. It can be hard to see, but this actual whole city, it looks like water, but it's not. And the sun kind of overtakes the entire card. But do you know what's in the sun? You may not tell from far. You think, oh, it's just the sun rays. Look closer. There's people in the sun. There's people intertwined and connected within the sun. It's part of the sun. We are part of the sun. We are these, excuse me, magnificent, majestic beings who are all a part of this connectivity. And it doesn't matter like what religion you are, what belief, where you live. I think that also portrays that. We're all holding hands here, connected, just like the other card. They were kind of like almost holding hands. We're all together, right? We're all intertwined and connected with this sun energy. It beams on us, but there would be no life without the sun, right? And look how confident the sun is smiling and beaming at us. Just, she lives with us. He or she, whatever you believe, lives things to us. Without us, they would have no reason to exist. Why would the sun be here if there's no life? Like, the sun kind of makes life, right? Like, it's just a thing, right? So, that's all. Now let's talk about the opposite, the moon. The moon is darkness. So that was light, now we're darkness. And darkness needs to occur. Darkness needs to take place. People fear the darkness. People fear the unknown. People fear what they cannot see. This room right now is dark. It's naturally dark. It's just being propelled up by this stupid light and the light next door here. Like, it is dark in here. There's nothing. There's no light without even the sun. The sun is also giving it light. And the energy, like we glow. We actually glow in the dark. And the energy in the atoms moving creates some artificial light or whatever here and there. But other than that, there is nothing but darkness. So why would you fear walking into a room that's just the same room minus whatever is artificially lighting it? Think about it, right? Your fear of the dark would sort of go away knowing that. It's just your mind creating a fear because of what we've been witnessing in movies and television all our lives. That dark is scary, and horror movies and thrillers and, boogeyman, right? If you were never shown those things, would you ever fear it? Think about that for a bit. But why is darkness also always portrayed as evil or bad when it's the same as light? It's just what it is. It's just existing. It's not doing anything. So we create constructs of fear based on what we see. So what's projected to us in our life movie, we project out. And so you have to respect the darkness as well, because it is the same as the light. It is living its existence. It's a polarity. It's a polar opposite. So with that said, the moon is portrayed by darkness because although it still glows, it only glows thanks to the light of the sun. Otherwise, it's dark. The sun only glows because it gives itself that light. Otherwise, it would be dark, right? So, the moon is portrayed as darkness because it shows during what we perceive as the night, but it's always night, if you think about it. Anyway, so with that said, let's show you the moon. The moon is for sleep, for rest. It's a time of inactivity. It's a time of contemplation, of emotion. People tend to get more in their emotions at night, drink more at night, watch TV more at night if that's what your preference is, or a movie or a show, and rest. And if you can't rest, maybe you didn't get enough sunlight during the day. Maybe, just maybe, because now your cycle is messed up. Maybe. Remember, we're all creatures on this planet, like the wolves and the lobsters. We all depend on the cycle. When you stray from it, you begin to notice changes in your well-being. This is 18, so it's next to the 19 of the sun, because they're together, they're connected. 18 is 9. 9 is the end of a cycle. 9 means the end, like the night. And then 1 is the sun, the beginning. Everything is all based on 0 through 9. In this case, 1 through 9. So, notice that the moon looks like the sun. It just looks like the moon pasted over the sun in this specific card. But that's because it's trying to portray that it's always a full circle. It's never a chunk or a piece or a crescent. It's only what the sun chooses to shine on the moon. Do you notice the sun is behind the moon? It's as if they're in the same position in the sky, don't you think? But I won't go there. There's 2 towers here. Fascinating, right? Why 2? And why 2 wolves? There's something there. And why the lobster coming out at night? This This is usually portrayed by like Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, like the water signs, because they are linked emotionally with the moon and the night, and sometimes this appears to tell you that someone's moon sign is a water sign. But anyway, notice the two howling wolves. What is this trying to tell you? This is trying to tell me, and this card always tells me, a moment of retreat, a moment of silence, a moment of peace, a moment where you can sort of like how the werewolf comes out in the full moon. That part of you comes out at night that wasn't there during the day. And sometimes you can share that part of you with others. You internalize your emotions. I think the towers portray that people go inside at night. Typically, they're not found outside because the dark is apparently so scary. But that's because also the werewolves come out, so maybe that's why. But just like you go inside, you also go within yourself at night. You tend to think about others, miss others. You can't sleep, and then now you're dwelling on your past. The night reflects upon us like the moonlit night reflects on the pond below. So it's internalizing and reflecting upon our day. Dreams occur because our mind needs to process what we've just witnessed all day. Remember, we're playing a movie, we're recording it, and we're deleting files as we sleep. So we're reflecting, we're processing, and we're emotional sometimes. Sometimes we have a nightmare because maybe something bad happened to us or we saw something bad. Just something to think. In Capricorn. It makes things a little complicated for me emotionally. But what do you see here? I see a woman alone. She feels alone. She's lonely. And again, every message is a projection of yourself, so I see different than what you see because we all have a different movie box right in our mind. It's beautiful that I can see something different than you can see. Isn't it? Isn't it incredible? She's hopeful though. She looks happy. She's looking up in the sky. She's waiting patiently to manifest her dream. And look, did you catch this? There's fish below her. You could say it's Pisces, but you could also say there's something more to that. She's realizing her connectivity to life itself, the fish in the sea, all the animals. You notice also the moon is connected with the tides. The moon allegedly controls the tides. So they're all connected with the water, and water is emotion, not just water signs. So she's in her PJs, and she has her hair down, washed, cleaned, brushed, just ready for bed, but she's still looking up at the sky. The clouds are also linked together, the weather patterns. We depend solely on the moon as well as the sun. Remember, without the moon, we wouldn't be here either, so people forget that. And that's what I see from this. La lune in French, the moon. There's the two wolves again, and the lobster. And the sun again being portrayed as the sun, and the moon being portrayed again as the moon sun. Two towers again. Maybe one werewolf lives in that, one lives in that, and they're different colors. They come from different territories, but they all come together at night to worship the same moon god. Even other creatures come out at night to share in this conjoined exercise, so it's very vivid and colorful. This does look like daytime, doesn't it, though? Maybe side of this planet at this time. Right? If you think about it, it's always day and it's always night. Where are we? Do we really know what we're doing? Why we worship things without question? Do we understand the concept of why we're here to begin with? And what's portrayed to us is maybe an illusion as well. What do you see, my friends? What is out there? Lobster, 2 wolves, and 2 towers, yet again. Oh why in heavens is it always portrayed this way? Well, you can tell that's night, and you can see the long winding path that lobster has to go. The lobster doesn't know better. It's trying to reach the moon because it has a probably lower intelligence than the wolves, who already know that you can't walk to the moon. But lobsters never die unless they're killed. So maybe it's portraying the longevity of the night. You notice the night always, I can't say it seems longer than the day. The day actually is pretty long. The day, I think it seems longer than the night. It really is. The night kind of goes quickly if you think about it. At least I've noticed that staying up from time to time. One is sitting and one is walking, and they're both different types of wolves. But the towers are so close together. There's like community joined in one. The wolves are probably like the gatekeepers to let any creatures go. Maybe they keep trying to tell the lobster not to go every night and try to run to the moon because it's not real. It's not possible, I mean. You can't reach it, so maybe that's what it's trying to say. And why are the towers so tall? What are in the towers? You sometimes gotta ask yourself these questions. What is it that you see?